Saturday evening. It's cocktail hour, at least for me it is. I don't know if it is for Crocky. We'll talk about what's in that glass in just a little bit. We'll talk about what's going on with the 49ers, the latest roster news. Cornerback, already one of the keys to victory for me. And we've got more news there for who is and who is not available Sunday. And let's get loose. Whatever's going on in the chat, we can go off topic if you want to. A little pregame, week 14, Locked On 49ers live right now.
You are Locked On 49ers, your daily San Francisco 49ers podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Welcome to another Locked On 49ers here. Brian Peacock alongside former NFL and AFL cornerback Eric Crocker at BD Peacock at Eric_Crocker on Twitter. Evening, fellas. Evening, Daddy.
Good evening.
Daddy Drew, what's happening? Excited to see everybody jump in with us here on the live stream. I talked about it being cocktail hour for me here. I was going to have dinner before. I decided, you know what? Let's have a drink. Let's talk Niners, talk a little NFL, maybe Heisman voting that just happened. I know Croc has thoughts on the college game because he hosts Locked On NFL Draft, and hopefully it's draft season a little later than it was last year for the 49ers this year. But this is a Negroni, and I thought this was a perfect 49ers cocktail. It turns out a scarlet red. I've even got the gold rim glass to go with it. If you want to join along with me with the Negroni, it's equal parts gin, Campari, and sweet vermouth. Super easy to make, and it's delicious.
They need to make that a sponsor of the show. The way you just wrote that out there, man, you made me want to have some.
Dude, any gin distillers out there that want to get involved and sponsor Locked On 49ers, hit me up at BD Peacock on Twitter. All right.
That's what we need. Are we able to have our own sponsor? Like, hey, man, forget what y'all got going on. We're going to do our own sponsor.
There's a ton of national sponsors, fantastic sponsors on Locked On 49ers. That are with us. Some of them all year long. Some of them are seasonal. But yeah, we're open for just local sponsors that only want to sponsor this one podcast on the network. If you want to just sponsor Locked On 49ers, hit us up. Absolutely. Oh man, there's all kinds of people jumping into the chat. I love seeing this. Hope you're doing well. Also, love seeing that Noe 559 from the 559. Shout out. I know there's a lot of different area codes. I mean, we're talking.
I lived in Fresno for a year. I went to Sunnyside High School.
The first ever professional sporting event I ever went to was in the 559 Visalia Oaks Single A baseball, now known as the Visalia Rawhide. But the first major league event I ever went to right here, Candlestick Park, for the San Francisco Giants and San Francisco 49ers. The first ever NFL game. And the first ever, it was 49ers Giants. My first ever NFL game. My first ever.
What year?
That was 91.
Oh, wow.
And way back in 1989 with my uncle who had season tickets. He used to live in Fremont. He had season tickets. I'd go stay with him for like 2 weeks and see a whole homestand of games. My first ever baseball game was Giants Cubs way back in 1989. Wow.
My first NFL, oh my goodness. My first NFL game I went to, it was like 2007, 2008, in that range. I went and watched whenever Randy Moss was on the Raiders. I went and watched Randy Moss against the Browns. Terrible. I don't know what version of Randy Moss that was, but it definitely was not what I was expecting. He was horrible. But my first 49er game, Candlestick Park, in the end zone, it was a 49ers against the Lions. And they probably had like Dan Orlowski playing. And Calvin Johnson, they threw a deep ball to him. This was game, I think Deshaun Goldson had like an interception, but Calvin Johnson, they threw a deep ball to him. They overthrew him in the end zone, like right by kind of where I was sitting. And I saw him and I'm like, what the F is that? So I text my brother and I'm like, dude, this dude, Calvin Johnson, is the biggest receiver I've ever seen in my life. You see his muscles through his pant legs. Like, it was like crazy. It looked like literally like a Megatron. And I asked my brother, I said, BJ, how are you supposed to guard that? And he said, you're not. I was like, that makes sense because this looks crazy.
You don't guard that. You definitely don't guard that. You hope he drops a pass, and then he's out here making those one-handed catches on top of it, and he has 4.3 speed. That's what's scary is those big guys, and I think in today's game, a guy like DK Metcalf is like that, where you see him and he's big, and you see him running, and when you don't see him compared to other players, you don't realize how fast they're going and how much ground they're chewing up with those strides. Randy Moss was another good one. It looks so smooth and effortless when Randy Moss is running, and he's running by these other DBs that also run 4.3s, and you're like, whoa, that is freaky. It's super scary. It's got to be like, who's the freakiest guy you ever lined up against that you knew, oh crap, I can't run with this guy?
Oh man, actually, it was my cousin. He's my blood cousin, Armand Lewis, man, and he was like a 4.3 guy, and he was speedy like that. Now I did line up against Stephen Hill, and Stephen Hill he ran like 4.28 or something like that at the combine, 6'4" guy, but he didn't play at that speed. So I was on the Jets with him. He didn't play at that speed, so I wasn't worried about him. But my cousin, oh my goodness, he was. I mean, he's probably about 5'9", and he was just choo, 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 choo. He had a stint with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, but man, Armand fast, and it just threw everything off. I didn't know. It's like, okay, if I'm too patient, like he just runs by me. If I'm not patient enough, then my technique goes out the window. I mean, I didn't know what to do.
Stephen Hill. I was a big fan of Stephen Hill. I was excited. It was like, okay, another one of those Georgia Tech wide receivers that they don't throw to, and they run this old school option crap it. And you have Calvin Johnson and Demaryius Thomas. Oh, by the way, Demaryius Thomas, terrible story from this week.
RIP.
Yeah, this drink goes out to Demaryius Thomas. I mean, that's super sad. And those guys were freaks of nature out there. I don't know how you recruit guys that are that freaky, 6'4" and run 4.3s to a school that doesn't throw the ball. That blows me away.
With Calvin Johnson, they did, but then yeah, Stephen Hill and Demaryius Thomas, they were on that wing T type stuff. I think they're back in spread now. They have a nice running back over there.
Who's the little quarterback? Joe Hamilton? Was that the quarterback at Georgia Tech when Calvin Johnson was there?
Reggie Ball? Something Ball? Reggie Ball? I feel like it was. Let me see. Because I don't know why the name. I don't even know who Reggie Ball is. But that name just popped up in my head. No.
That sounds like a real guy. Joe Hamilton. Was
Reggie Ball? No, Reggie Ball. Reggie Ball. Yeah, he went undrafted 2007.
Who am I thinking of? Joe Hamilton was a quarterback. Okay, that's the right guy. Where did he play? Georgia Tech. He might have been before 2000 draft. So he was before Calvin Johnson.
Yeah, he's before.
Yeah, okay.
So I'm right, you're wrong.
Yeah, I'm wrong. I'm definitely wrong, but I got the right guy. I was thinking of the right guy, so that's what's important to me in this. All right, we're getting off topic here. I was actually going to ask you about the voting for the Heisman that just happened, but I don't think we need to go there right now because there's something very important that I was reminded about in the chat, and that was the point of us jumping on here is because some roster stuff changed since we last checked in with our Keys to Victory show Friday, Croc, and one of those keys, and that's those 49ers corners, even more of a key now with the news that Dante Johnson is out for this football game Sunday due to personal reasons. And there's more and more talk that it might be actually third rounder Ambry Thomas that gets the start and not Diamador Lenore over there opposite Josh Norman at cornerback. And if it's not Ambry Thomas, it's Demo. And if it's not either one of the rookies, they just activated Savion Smith from the practice squad. So, Croc, I'm going to give you the floor. I'm sure you've got plenty. What's the scouting report on Savion Smith? Take all the time you need. Go ahead.
I'm going to probably need a little bit more time. Let me see where he's from. Hold on. Savion Smith, NFL. Let's see.
I've got nothing on Savion Smith. While you look up where he's even from, also activated from the practice squad is wide receiver River Craycraft, who we know well now, safety Jared Wilson, and running back Brian Hill. So Brian Hill goes from being added to the practice squad to activated very quickly. And Trent Cannon and Emmanuel Mosley both placed on injured reserve. So we were talking about why isn't Emmanuel Mosley with a high ankle sprain on injured reserve? He's going to miss the next 3 weeks. And they were just waiting for later in the week to make that happen to figure out who they were going to promote in his place. So that's what's going on right now at the 49ers. And that has to be it's kind of worrisome. Look, and I want those rookies to play, but man, this is a tough week. It's a tough ask for them to go out there and cover guys like Boyd and especially Higgins and Chase, right? So
I'm
this is
gonna
gonna be
try
fun
to
and like
see where.
tighten up those cleats, rookies. Let's go. You're in the NFL for a reason. Let's play.
Let's see. Yeah, I don't recent
You still don't
games.
know who
I'm
this guy
trying to
is?
figure out. I found him. Oh, okay. His last time playing was 2020. That's why I was thrown off. Actually, against the Bengals, he had 3 tackles, 2 solo tackles, 1 assist against the
Okay.
Bengals last year. Last year this time.
So familiar with the Bengals, maybe that gave him the edge to who knows, maybe he even starts. He was with the Houston Roughnecks in the XFL for a while, spent some times I think on the Dallas Cowboys practice squad, Tampa Bay Bucks practice squad, maybe. Oh no, he was born in Tampa. Okay. So yeah, welcome to the 49ers, Syvon Smith. He's already been on the practice squad, but now he's getting called
Good
up to the big
size.
club. 6'1".
Now, how long has he been? How long has he been on the practice squad?
I don't know. I don't remember him getting signed to the practice squad. Maybe in the chat somebody knows here.
Let's see. I'll find his Wikipedia.
Yeah, Ambry Thomas versus 6'4" T. Higgins. Welcome to the NFL. But how about this? I mean, Ambry Thomas was a top 100 draft pick this year. No, was he 102, 103, maybe something like that? But he's going to be covering a rookie, Jamar Chase. I looked it up too. Thomas and Demo never faced in college T. Higgins or Jamar Chase. Those colleges, Clemson and LSU, never played Oregon or Michigan when those guys were on the squad. So we don't have any track record of those guys covering each other in college either. So
I would like to see Ambry Thomas, like, just let him play and just give him the full game. We're at the point. It's like, come on, you got Josh Norman out there. You got this is not what you expected. So at least let your 3rd round rookie corner just go out there and play. And one thing about the cornerback position, man, it is a lot of it has to do with confidence. And if you stack together a couple plays, just a couple plays, and instill that confidence back in not just yourself, but in the people around you, and you feel like they have confidence in you, that's when you'll be all right. I know an Alabama guy. I got an Alabama guy. If we're able to have a guest on, I bet he could tell us everything about Syvon Smith if he's from Alabama. He
let's get him on.
loves Bama.
Hit him
I'll
up.
get
Let's
him
get
on.
him
All
on.
right.
Let's
I'll
answer
work on
this
that.
question. No, this is just exclusive to the YouTube channel. This is not going on the podcast.
Yeah.
Hey, pleasant surprise talking to you as well. Love being able to jump on the YouTube live here. I'm actually surprised how much I'm enjoying doing the video stuff and doing this YouTube stuff. Croc, we got on this a little bit late. We should have been doing this for years. Okay, let's see.
I'm messaging my guy.
Yeah. Well, look, here's my advice to you. Don't look at just the college highlights of prospects and players. I mean, it will get you pumped up for them. You're going to see all the good from players, but go find the cut-ups. Go find like Ambry Thomas versus one school, every snap, and watch how they play. That's a much better way to get an idea of what kind of a player somebody is. One thing though, Croc, you said it. Whatever they decide, whatever these guys look like in practice, whatever has led to this moment when you put together the body of work from these rookies from the time they were drafted and rookie mini camp and OTAs and training camp and all practices leading up to this week, whatever you decide, if you're D'Amico Ryans and Kyle Shanahan, whatever you decide, Ambry Thomas, Diamador Lenore, start him and leave him the hell out there to get toasted.
Leave him out there.
Whatever. Let them go through the growing pains. Unless they just completely lose their confidence and they've completely lost.
If it looks like, what's his name? Brian Smith?
Brian Allen.
Brian Allen.
Yeah.
If it looks like that, where you're just like, okay, then yeah, you take them out. But if it's not anything too crazy, and okay, it gives us a play here and there. Some of these things, as a cornerback, as you got, just let them play through it. Here's the thing: Kyle Shanahan clearly does not. That's not a priority of his. Clearly, like developing the rookie and living with up and downs. Right, like he doesn't want any of that. He wants his guys. That's why he's playing guys like Josh Norman. That's why he's playing, even Jimmy over Trey Lance right now. Like he doesn't want, even that's might be why he's playing Elijah Mitchell over Trey Sermon. He doesn't want to go through having to tell you, oh, well, no, don't do it. Or no, like, it's like, nah, man, like, can somebody else just do it better right now? Okay, you go ahead, you play. So cornerbacks, we'll see how long of a leash those guys get. But I don't think Kyle Shanahan's messing with any of these guys going through some growing pains while he's trying to make a playoff run.
Croc, we've got a very important question in the chat here. Is it sweet potato pie day tomorrow?
No, it is not. So I went and got the sweet potato. First of all, I've been eating better. I'm in this like little challenge with my guy Jesse Booker. Shout out Jesse Booker, big time 49er fan. And so I gotta lose a bunch of weight. So I'm not eating the sweet potato pie, but it wouldn't be either anyways. I am really confident 49ers are winning this game. Matter of fact, so confident I'm putting $500 on it. I'm pretty confident.
Wow. Okay. You're trying to get more cash to build that facility even quicker, huh?
We're traveling to California. Maybe I take the kids shopping or something. I don't know. But yeah, I'm very confident. I haven't felt confident like that about a game, like even like the Seattle game. It was like, I don't know. No, I was confident about the Jaguars game. Like, of course, I have the same feeling heading into this game as I did heading into the Jaguars game.
There's some things I really like about this matchup for the 49ers, but I cannot be that confident. And in fact, it makes me want to put $500 on the Bengals just to know one of us is going to make some money Sunday. But this is one that I would not even dream of putting money on this game because I have no clue. I get the feeling, and Croc, you've said it a bunch of times. We've covered it so many times on the podcast that it hasn't been really that much of a problem, the 49ers defensive backs. But at some point, the dam feels like it could break. And could this be it? It worries me a little bit. And like that defensive line's got like Nick Bosa's just got a feast, right? And that would make things a lot easier. Or make and this is what the Niners haven't been great at is make Joe Burrow pay because he'll take chances. Like he's got a great deep ball. He's accurate throwing the ball down the field, and he will take chances. That's why they made so many big plays. But he'll throw some picks too. He's got 14 interceptions on the season. So take the ball away. Make big plays in the other direction if he's trying to target you too hard. So that's what's going to be really interesting to me about this game. Or does it open up the middle of the field for Mixon to run wild because the 49ers are playing, two safeties deep and Boyd's killing him over the middle of the field too. That's the other thing. But
Boyd is that I do something for Lion Sports. They pay me to do these little over under bet prop things. And I actually said take the under on Jamar Chase, which is Jamar Chase under 64.5 yards. But if he can't win vertically, and we'll see if the 49ers go to more of a too high shell. If he can't win vertically like that, I don't think it's going to be a huge problem. The issue is he can get you vertically at any time. But Boyd, that was the guy who said, take the over on Boyd's yards, which is 44.5 yards, because I think if there's any weakness in the 49ers defense, it's sometimes just whatever the scheme is allows these like over routes or just these slot receivers in space. So Boyd is the one I'm like, yeah, 44.5 yards. Go ahead, put some money on the over on his yardage.
Have you heard about this conspiracy? I just saw this in the chat. I don't know what Daddy Drew is talking about here. Have you all heard the 49ers Texans conspiracy theory with our first 3 picks? What is this?
Can you
explain it to me?
It's the Texans liked Trey Lance, Aaron Banks, and Trey Sermon. So the 49ers drafted all 3 guys to potentially trade them to the Houston Texans for Deshaun Watson.
Oh, they were drafting them for them. But no, that was much later. I like that conspiracy theory, by the way, but that was so much later than all the stuff came down with Watson. And
I think that's the point, though. Like, if you have these guys and they're ready to go, I mean, if you have them, like, and everything is clear with the Watson thing, then you're able to move them. It is a wild conspiracy. I mean, that's like the conspiracy of all conspiracies. But
yeah, I don't buy it. I like it. I like where that
came from. The NFL is not messing around like that. That's what the NFL.
Once the team's on the clock, if they don't have that deal in place, if it's not done, they're not going to be drafting players they don't want.
It's not the NBA.
Yeah.
Right, the NBA, they do some of that where it's like, okay, like Kobe Bryant, right? He got drafted to Charlotte, then they traded him for a D-Lock, and like, nah, it's not the NBA.
I happened with the Warriors back in the day, Vince Carter and Antoine Jameson.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Because everyone freaked out about Vince Carter being better, and they drafted Antoine Jameson before, but that's because they knew that a team was going to trade, or so it's like it was one of those things where it was already set up beforehand.
Vince Carter played for a long time.
Oh, he was good. He was good for a long time. He was really fun to watch. Yeah, and like if that was all, that was so much longer after the Deshaun stuff and the Texans stuff. The Texans, if they wanted to trade with, and that was the same thing with the whole Aaron Rodgers thing, like draft day, they said they made a call on draft day. It's like way too late. Because if you're the Packers, you don't want the third pick. You wanted the picks that the Niners gave up to get the third pick, right? Same for the
Right.
Texans. The Texans would rather have 3 first-round draft picks than just the number 3 pick for Deshaun Watson. So that's why none of that stuff makes sense to me.
But maybe they liked the kid that much, But yeah, that was a conspiracy theory. And the other parts of the conspiracy theory was that's why the 49ers have been reluctant to play all 3 guys. Trey Sermon, Aaron Banks.
They're trying to hide him. They don't want to
Trey
get him
Lance.
hurt because the trade's going to happen this offseason instead.
Yeah, apparently.
I've got a perfect sounder for how I feel about that.
I don't buy it.
Yeah. Thanks, Wink. Appreciate you, Wink. Not in the chat today.
Yeah.
Here we go. Magic drafted Chris Webber and the Warriors drafted Penny Hardaway. All right, we're getting into we're.
I did not know the Warriors drafted Penny Hardaway. Did I? Maybe I didn't know. I mean, some of these things happened a long time ago. So
yeah, they're crazy. And like I always feel bad for the prospect, especially in the NBA draft, when they know something's up because they're wearing the hat of the team that drafted them, but it's all for show because their agent's there and telling them what's going on. They know they're actually not going to play.
Yeah.
Wearing the hat for, and it's always awkward. And they're like young kids, some of them 18 years old and from another country, and they just look super awkward in their suits with the hat that's like high on their head. At least, hey,
it's a dream come true to play for Frontline Sports. They got the hat on. It's like even though they know, like, well, but tomorrow I'm going to be playing for the Warriors.
Oh lordy. Man, $500, huh? Putting $500 on this game.
500. I'm extremely confident.
Is right now. I love that.
Someone did ask, why am I so confident? And I just have this feeling that the 49ers are just a better team. Now, if you want to say that the Bengals have the better quarterback, and if it just comes down to that, then okay. But it just if the 49ers aren't just doing weird stuff, I really like the 49ers. And we'll see what's up with Deebo Samuel, too. He is questionable. So
Josh says, this could be the hardest game left on the schedule. If the 49ers can win it, there's a great chance of them winning 10 games this year with wins versus Atlanta, Houston, and Tennessee. Yeah. Niners playoffs, it's actually a sneaky important game, even though it doesn't have as much of a implication on the tiebreaker, which the tiebreaker is conference record. So it would have been better for the 49ers to beat the Seahawks and lose to the Bengals. But now that all the other teams in the NFC have lost and they're all have bad records, for the 49ers to win this game and be a game over 500 and be 7-6 makes their playoff chances like something like 70-something%, 75, 78%.
I think it was 75%.
Yeah, whereas they lose, they're still in it, but it's like 50% or below 50%, and you're back at it again with all the 6 and 7 teams, like the Vikings who just won after a bad loss, and I don't know. Anyways, all those teams. You see anything in the chat you want to talk about here, Crocky? I don't think I have anything else specific with this game. I just wanted to talk about the roster stuff and Dante Johnson and the cornerbacks. Is it weird that
get a question? Go ahead.
Is it weird that I feel because if you would ask me a few weeks ago, I would have said, "Oh, play Demo over Dante Johnson anyway." But now I'm almost like, after what we saw last week, and it's like, oh, now I almost feel like Dante Johnson, as crazy it is to say, is the guy you can't afford to lose on defense now. Or maybe it's not that way. I'm excited. I want to see these rookies step up. I want to see something from these guys. 3rd and 5th round picks. You should be able to hang. You should be able to hang in the NFL.
Here's the tough thing, man. Like at the cornerback position, you need a lot of reps to really put together a good sample size of what you kind of really are. So like if you come in the middle of the game and then like 2 plays happen and then you just get pulled, it's like you didn't really get a chance to, really get your kind of feet wet. And those nerves are still in there. You don't even get a chance to really settle down before you look. It's like, dang, they just hung 2 touchdowns on my head.
Yeah, that's the tough part. Like you can't even settle down and get into a groove because they're going to go at you early, probably.
Yeah.
Brian Hill. What do you think about Brian Hill? Look, I'll say 2 things. Two big things, and this is not even specific to Brian Hill. A, he was a running back, and you know how many teams have needed running backs off the street this year, and he was still available for the 49ers. So that's A. That tells you what teams think about Brian Hill. But B, I will say, it doesn't matter. Hand him the ball. This is a Kyle Shanahan offense. Like, if there's one position I'm not really that worried about, and you want to have the best players out there, but I'm definitely just, running back agnostic at this point. Like, it doesn't matter to me. They're not going to lose because Brian Hill's taking snaps and mixing in with Jermichael Hasty and Jeff Wilson. I mean,
He just got released though, like last week.
Right. Yeah. So he's been on.
He's been on a couple of different rosters. Here's the thing about the running back position. It's so interchangeable, So Brian Hill, I remember watching him one time and be like, oh, okay, he's a good looking running back. But I think more times than not, when you just cut on any film, you can typically say, oh, okay, that's a good looking running back. Right. Like, running backs, they just kind of are what they are. I think Brian Hill, he is a guy who I feel like will come in and fit right in with some of the things that the 49ers want to do. Maybe, not be special or do special things, but I bet he's a guy you can come in and hand the ball off to 15 times and he can end up with 100 rushing yards. That's just how, it happens with running backs in the NFL.
From what I remember of Brian Hill, and most of it was coming out of the draft, and that was 2017 out of Wyoming. So he's been in the league for a while, and he's played in a similar offense. So terminology shouldn't be that hard for him. He played in Atlanta post Shanahan, and I think he bounced around to the Titans and maybe another team or two. I think the Titans is where he was at somewhat recently, but he's a bigger back, but can catch the ball a little bit, has good feet, 4.5s. He's just like, he's one of those guys where if he's a freak of nature as a human being, but as a running back, he's just kind of solid across the board and can play a little bit, but doesn't wow you really in any category. But if he has to get carries, I'm not worried about it. He'll be fine.
Not worried about it. Not at the running back position, man. That thing is plug and play.
Yeah, I'm much more worried about
everybody's not crowding the box. And that's been an issue, right? With the 49ers in the run game, average 2.9 yards per carry against the Seahawks. If everybody's just going to load the box and say, all right, we're just not going to let you run and we're going to dare you to throw the ball, then, yeah, it don't matter who your running back is. That's kind of tough to run on. Now, Kyle Shanahan has done a really good job just with different, misdirections and, just creative things, motions to be able to get guys on the edge and it blocked up well and then still be able to spring off a big run. But if you don't get that, because of how many people are typically in the box against the 49ers and these fronts that they're facing, it's just hard to run on.
And it's not putting Brian Hill in at running back. It's not like putting Brian Allen in at cornerback. It'd be more like putting Brian Hill at cornerback on Sunday is what that would be like. It's much more difficult to jump in and play corner than to play running back when you've been in the NFL and the terminology and you know what to do. Hit the hole. That's why rookies at running back can come in and play so well early in their careers. This is a good question. How do you watch football on Sundays, Brian? Croc, I'm curious to hear yours as well. Mine is I'm locked into the 49ers every other time in game time. So if the Niners are playing early, I'm watching the Niners game and I have my laptop out and you got highlights and you got other stuff going on over here in Twitter. And so you're seeing what's happening in the other games, but I'm really locked into the 49ers. And then when the other games are on, it's all about the Red Zone channel. And then I've got, maybe another game. If I really want to watch one game, I put that on the laptop. Then I go Red Zone channel on the TV. I need to get a multi-TV situation where I've got big TV, little TV up here, something like that. Maybe when I move, I will have that situation set up a little bit better, but that's what I'm doing. And I have to know what's going on around the league and all the other games. And if there's a game I don't really get to, I'm able to go back and watch some later before I talk about them on Monday, Tuesday, and the rest of the week on the Peacock and Williamson show, because I like to know what's going on in the league and I like to see different players and what's happening in different games. And It's a lot of fun. So I'm not just watching only 49ers on Sunday, but not a lot of activity on Sundays. I'm really uh, sedentary. I'm sitting on a couch and I'm eating food and not moving a whole lot. Croc, what are your Sundays like when you're watching football?
Yeah. I'm actually starting to work on my setup as we speak. I've just spent a little too much money on different things. I was expecting to really start kind of putting together my sports room, but I have similar setup as you. I have my TV up there on the wall and above the fireplace or whatever. I have a sports room. It's just not sporty yet. But yeah, I sit down and a lot of times I'll kick my feet up. I have my laptop that I'm talking to you guys on right now. I have my laptop up. I usually have a game going on there if there's something I really want to watch, and then I'll have the red zone on the TV or vice versa. Unless the 49ers are playing, then yeah, I'm typically 49ers are there. But you guys remember, I'm in the South. So 49ers typically aren't on TV where I'm at. So a lot of times I have to watch the 49ers on Sunday Ticket, which I'm streaming it and I'm usually a couple plays behind. So I can't really be on social media like that. And I have to put my phones down because my group chats will start blowing up with, oh, did you see what this happened? Oh, interception, GBG or whatever. So I have to like turn my phones over, put those on the ground and just be locked in. And then during commercial breaks, that's when you guys usually see me tweet. So that's why a lot of times if it looks like I'm behind, like on the tweet, and you know, that's why, because I'm streaming.
Yeah, and I hate when you look down to tweet something, then something else happens. So that's smart. You wait till the commercial break and then you tweet some
Yeah.
analysis for. And I'm never a big play-by-play guy anyway. I know there's a lot of accounts and some of them I mute actually that just get too play-by-play, and it's like I don't need play-by-play of the game. I'm watching the game. I want to see, like, throw some analysis in there with your tweets, you know. But sometimes, yeah, sometimes I kind of don't want to even look at Twitter because I'm a little bit behind as well because I cut the cord a long time ago, and so I'm all 100% streaming. And my where I'm at currently over the air, I don't get the local signal. The local signal, if you get it though, can be really good. If you have an HD antenna, it can look awesome. It can look better than like cable TV or whatever. But yeah, so
Yeah.
sometimes I'm a little bit behind. So yeah, same with me, Croc. When we're tweeting from a little bit behind, that may because we're a little bit behind from what's going on. By the way, I want
Yeah.
to let everybody
So
know.
are you gonna set up at the new house? You are gonna set up a like your own little space where you got the
Oh,
multiple
yeah, yeah, yeah,
TVs?
yeah. I'm gonna get a better space, and it'll probably be part of my podcasting studio, so I'll have it going on, so I could even, like, watch while I'm doing podcasts if I need to, and, I'm gonna have a proper
See,
setup
I
for
I
sure.
can't.
I remember you were having maybe a little bit of trouble and maybe, a little conflict with the wife trying to figure out which room you were gonna take over. Did you win that
So
battle?
I got it. I
Okay.
got it. Yeah, it's I would show you guys it, but I wouldn't be able to y'all wouldn't be able to hear me if I go. But yeah, I got it. It's the biggest room in the house and it's like, you know, like where I'm at. Okay, just kind of give you guys a picture of it. This used to be what they call a mud room. So you remember I'm in the South and they do a lot of hunting and everything. So but it's a good size. It's like the size of an office. So I got a little sofa in here and all type of other stuff. Got a sink, whatever. And then so I walk through here and right here is the laundry room, and then go through that door. Then there's the kitchen and everything, and then there's our living room, and then you turn and down there it's like the biggest room. So, but yeah, I'm scared. I got all these doors. I have a door right here that goes to like outside. So that's why I keep my pistol right here because when you are in the South, like I don't know, I got too many doors. So I'm like, I don't know if somebody's gonna come busting in at any time. I gotta be ready. So,
A lot of
but yeah,
the doors to fences ratio is all out of whack over there.
I have no fence. Well, I do
Right.
have a fence around my pool. I have a nice pool with the like cabana or whatever and all that. There's a fence around my pool, but there's no fence around anything else.
Look at Crocky living it up in Arkansas with all the square footage, man. Yeah.
Listen, you guys, I never thought I like live away from like Stockton for good, right? Never thought I'd live away from Stockton for good. But when I came out here and then just things just started falling into place. And then the way I'm living now, it's like, oh my gosh, how are you guys living in California? Like I'm living like a king.
I want to remind everybody to hit that subscribe button, by the way, while you're on this live stream. So you know when we're posting new podcasts, hit the bell, hit the thumbs up, all those things. We appreciate you. We're trying to get those subscriber numbers up here with the new Locked On 49ers YouTube channel. It's fantastic. What do you think? A little bit extra for Nick Bosa in this game to sack a guy he used to play college ball with, even though Joe Burrow didn't play a lot like Nick Bosa was playing at Ohio State.
Right.
They've been playing
But
video
even then,
games
there's
with each other. Did you hear that? They've been playing video games, and I guess Joe Burrow just is good at everything, and so he's already getting really good at whatever game they're playing. I don't even know what it is. It's like the game where you're driving cars, but you're playing soccer. Can't remember what it's called.
Oh yeah, I don't know what that is.
You know that one?
But I would say that like getting a sack of quarterback, that is a big thing because you can't touch the quarter. You can't even breathe on the quarterback in practice. It don't even matter if it's the backup guy. Like you touch a quarterback, like you get screamed at. So there is that frustration of like wanting to get them, and now it's like, hey, I really get to get you, and they can't say anything about it. So yeah.
Damn right. I do need a war room for sure. Croc, I saw this message earlier. You got a speech? Do you have, can you turn up the crowd with the speech? Do you want to save that for the end of the podcast?
I'm not really a speech type person. I'm kind of like like I just get in like these modes. So y'all know me as like, calm, cool, whatever. But like when I'm on the field, it's like when I start to like when I walk out, I mean, it's just like it's another person. It's just like I start to get like kind of I don't want to say possessed, but I'm way more turned up. Matter of fact, my first year coaching high school football, the head coach was like, he thought I was gonna be like more like because of how I was on the field. He's like, man, you're like way calmer. Like, yeah, I'm a chill person in real life, but on the field, I don't know, something goes off. I'm just like, I'm ready to go.
Rocket League. Thank you. Multiple folks in the chat let me know what the name of that game is. Rocket League. I've never played it. Trent Williams. They're going to go back to the Trent Williams tackle eligible this week. I don't know. They put it on film. They kind of blew it. Like Kyle can't go back to that very soon because they put it on film now, and everyone's going to know when Trent Williams is not left tackle anymore and he's hanging out over here as a tight end on the right. Something's going on, but maybe he has something off of that he could go to. But I don't know. I don't know if you can go back to that now.
I still think you can because I think there's a lot of times where a tackle is eligible, and more times than not, they're not utilized. So if you can just kind of lull guys asleep and sneak them out of there, sure. He's firing off to the next level anyways. He might just look like he's going to get somebody.
You go catch a game with Coach Prime, Crocky? Jackson, Mississippi? How far is that from you?
Yeah, I mean, I haven't been down there. I definitely will go watch a game. He has it turned up there, man. He has it turned up. Packed crowds. They're excited. He's rolling around in a wheelchair. Like, what is Primetime doing in a wheelchair?
What? Does he need it?
Yeah,
or is that just like his swag right now?
I don't know. You never know with Deion Sanders. I don't know.
I'm not even surprised. Like, especially even back in the day with like the Jerry Curl Prime when he's neck sweatband, and just looking ridiculous half the time. That would not have surprised me at all to see him just roll in with a wheelchair, which is hilarious.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, he's like decked out. Yeah, he got his chain on, everything, got his shades and his hat, and
wait, he's on
the wheelchair
with a wheelchair.
Yeah, like a motorized one.
Is he like? Is there something?
Pull up
wrong
a picture.
I don't know about
Deion Sanders wheelchair, and I'm pretty sure you'll see it.
It's so like I don't want to laugh if he's injured or like has something going on. But it's hilarious because I could totally picture him just doing that for the hell of it. He doesn't want to walk around and stand up the whole game.
He's in the wheelchair. Did you Google it and go to Google Images?
Look at this.
He even has a blanket on.
All right, I'm gonna go check this out. What do you think? Oh yeah, Trent Williams is gonna welcome Trey Hendrickson. That's such a bad. I feel like I know they don't, and I think 99% of the snaps Trey Hendrickson has played on the right side, but I just feel like that is the opposite of what they should do. They should put Sam Hubbard, who's the better run defender, on Trent Williams' side to try to hold up against the run better on the left side of the 49ers offense and bring Trey Hendrickson over to the left side to pass rush against Tom Compton. I feel like that's a better way to do it. Although Sam Hubbard could probably have his way with Tom Compton as well. So maybe it doesn't really matter because you're going to lose on one side and win on the other no matter what.
Well, it seems like, with the 49ers, even when Nick Bosa, like his rookie year, it didn't matter. He was just lining up on the right side of the defense no matter what, regardless of what tackle he was going up against. So maybe that's what they're going to do with Henderson, where it's just like, man, it doesn't matter who you're going up against, man. You're going to rush the passer from the spot you've been running, rush the passer from. Beat him. Just beat him. Hopefully that's what they say. So
Okay, I do see Dion in the wheelchair. He's got the sunglasses on too. He still looks good. He's kind of got this other thing. It looks like he's upgraded now. So yeah, it is an injury. So sorry, Prime, for laughing. But now he's upgraded to that little motorized little scooter where you only put one knee on it, That's what he's got going on now.
see, I think that was old. I don't know. I think the newer, like huh?
Was the scooter first before the wheelchair? So is he? All right, I gotta
think
find
the scooter was before the wheelchair. He's been scooting around and it's like motorized.
foot
I don't
surgery.
know what he's doing.
Okay. And he was even briefly hospitalized for foot surgery. Okay, so get well, Prime. I didn't know. It's still funny to me seeing him on the sideline with the wheelchair. I don't know why. Only Deion Sanders is the only one I would
because it's him.
Didn't need it. Yeah, exactly.
I think like Deion's like, he's a little extra. So Gustavo says, I think he got toe surgery. So
okay, yeah.
Deion would be in a full-on motorized wheelchair for toe surgery.
All right, we got to wrap this up pretty soon. My cocktail's getting a little bit low here, Crocky.
All right, real quick, I do want to know how many of y'all are going to the 49ers versus Rams game? Because I'm going. I know John Chapman has some big events going on, and it's supposed to be popping. And he got like this tailgate party as well. So you guys tap in. I'll post it to the social media account. I'm definitely going 49ers versus Rams. I'll be there. Peacock, have you committed to going yet? I'm not. It's crazy. I'm not even big on going to 49er games. I actually go just to interact with people, not even so much to actually go and go to the game and watch the game. Like, I really don't care to actually be in the stadium and watch the game. I actually love watching the game from home, from couch with my feet kicked up. I prefer that. But I do like the interaction part of everything and meeting a lot of people that listen to the podcast. And when we're in Philadelphia, I don't know if any of you in here right now, we're in Philadelphia, but we had it wasn't the invasion, but John Chapman, he had that rush party in Philly. And oh man, the fans were awesome. They kept coming up. They were telling us, just how much they listened to the Locked On 49ers podcast. I mean, it was awesome just meeting everybody and engaging, and it puts things into a different perspective with how many listeners we have. And I mean, people saw me at the game. My brother Donald, I usually tag him Angry Donald Cam. He was blown away by this because he knows he knows people listen to the podcast. But we were at the game in Philadelphia and people were like, Croc, is it really you? And my brother was just blown away by this. Like, what the heck is going on? I'm like, dude, I don't know either.
Angry Donald, he's a Cowboys fan, right?
No, so Angry Donald, he's a Steelers fan.
Okay.
And then my brother BJ, he's a Cowboy fan.
Okay. I do like the Angry Donald Cam. That might have been during a different sport. Or was it a Steelers team? I don't know. I can't remember.
No, it's Steelers. If he's excited, it's the Steelers. He loves his Steelers. Yeah.
That's fantastic stuff. Yeah, so I have not committed, Croc, to answer your question. I've not committed to that Week 18.
Gotta come. Dude, I'm flying in. You gotta come, man. You gotta come.
The problem is I might be moving. There's a lot going on.
Yeah, that's tough.
It's right after New Year's. And it's so things are going to be crazy in my world. So it might be a little bit more difficult for me to get there for this game.
Forget that house, man.
Yeah.
You bought a house before. No, I'm joking.
Moving. I hate moving so much. But yeah.
Real quick. There's a cool question right here. How did you guys end up liking different teams? All right, so my big brother BJ, he's a diehard Cowboy fan. We looked up and emulated my uncle Tracy. He's a Cowboy fan. My dad is actually a Washington football team fan. So he passed away in 2013. They were still the Redskins. So he was a Redskin fan. My mom And my family, they're all from the Bay Area. My mom, she was a 49er fan. So when I was 5 years old, I asked my mom, who's your favorite football team? She said 49ers. So from that point on, I was a 49er.
It makes a lot of
49er,
sense
yeah.
to be a 49ers fan in Stockton. It makes a lot less sense if you're in California. I always wonder how people, a lot of times just because who's good at the time or whatever. But I think maybe the most egregious thing you can be is a 49ers fan and a Lakers fan. That might be the worst. They're saying, "What's up to you, little Leo?" Yeah, Leo making. You want to say something?
Yeah.
Okay, make it good. Oh no, that's bad. What's Crocky doing?
What's wrong with him?
What's wrong with him? I don't know. That's a great question. I have no idea what's wrong with Crocky.
That's crazy, Daddy.
Yeah, it's crazy. He's nuts.
Leo,
All right,
I got
we
one
gotta
for
get.
you too, Leo.
We're
Leo, I
going
got
off
one
the
for you.
rails. We got to get out of here. Oh, look at that. Oh, tie dye, just like Leo's sweater.
Yeah. That's for you, Leo.
Here we go.
You want to say hi to Crocky before we go?
Hi, Crocky.
What's up, Leo? I know you can't hear me. I got the
You
headset on.
got my shirt to match it.
Yeah, he said his shirt matches. He saw that tie dye. He likes
Yeah,
it.
that's right.
All right.
Crocky,
Hey.
look.
All right, he's got his Donald Duck toy. All right, get out here, bud. We got to go. We got to go.
Oh.
All right. Appreciate y'all. Appreciate y'all. Oh, come on, Croc. We're losing subscribers with all this Lakers paraphernalia over here.
Yeah. Lakers. My uncle's a Laker fan. I asked him what his favorite team is. He said Lakers. He's actually since then switched. He's actually a Warrior fan now. So I guess he told me he was always a Laker and a Warrior fan. I guess I didn't get that. So that's why I'm a Laker fan. My uncle said he was a Laker fan when I was a kid. I was about 5, 6 years old. And yeah, I mean that we're talking about early 90s. It's Showtime.
Yeah, Showtime Lakers. Look, and there's a lot of LA fans that like had Lakers, they had Dodgers, and there's no NFL team for them anymore after the Raiders and the Rams are gone. So the Niners, logical California team, they're good. And so a bunch of people jumped on with the Niners. So that's always weird to meet a Niners, Dodgers fan, especially, and Lakers. But there's quite a few of them. So I know there's a lot of you out there. So I'm not going to hate too hard on that because I understand different people go through different childhoods, and you always pick your favorite team when you're like, I think it was Bob Costas said, you pick your favorite team when you are 11 years old, not 10, not 12, whatever's happening when you're 11 years old. That's the thing that matters most for you, and it'll stick with you the rest of your life.
That makes a lot of sense because I kind of liked Orlando. Like I liked the Penny Hardaway Shaq, but I wasn't like committed to it. So yeah, that makes sense.
Sorry, I'm muted. Got to get out of here. Got to go. It's go time. I've got a toddler over here going nuts, and we've been on here long enough. Pray for the 49ers defensive backfield on Sunday. Croc's got $500 on it. He is confident. I am not as confident in those Niners, but I think it's going to be an awesome game. I think it's going to be close. It's going to be a lot of fun, and rematch from some of those old 49ers Bengals Super Bowl matchups. Really appreciate everybody that jumped in on the chat and joined us on this Saturday evening live Locked On 49ers. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Tell a friend about Locked On 49ers, and we'll be back with you after the game. As always, Sunday. Talk to you then right here, Locked On 49ers.
Peace.